Yes guys, welcome back to another video. Welcome to the George Benson football channel. For a bit of a chilled video here today, I did my Atletico Madrid preview last night and I watch it back and I think, blimey, you can sense the nerves from a bloody mile away. So I'm guessing if that is the nature of my delivery of yesterday's video, which maybe you didn't pick up on it the way I did watching it back, but I'm still bloody nervous for this game today against Atletico Madrid. Champions League last 16, second leg, doesn't get any bigger. So I thought I would kind of interject from that nervous attitude and bring you a bit more of a laid-back Chelsea news video today. Got a few stories that I kind of want to twist, turn and dive into regarding certain big-name players, certain ex-Chelsea players, and a couple of current players who I think I want to give more credit to. We're going to start off, first of all, by reminding you guys that if you haven't yet signed up for GBFC Selects, which is my free-to-play game, where every single Chelsea match there is £1,000 to be won, simply by answering 10 very simple questions about the game. I'll leave a link to everything in the description. You've got to be 18 plus. Terms and conditions apply. Please be gamble aware. The game tonight, first things first, in my preview yesterday, I think I misinterpreted many people's desires for Olivier Giroud to seriously start this game tonight. I said I wasn't going to talk about Atletico Madrid, but I've ended up doing it anyway. I kind of backtrack on my statement, and I think if I was to backtrack and then show you guys on the screen what I backtracked to, I'm going to take Reece James out of the side, put Callum Hudson-Odoi in the right wing-back position, and where I had Callum, I put Giroud with Havertz and Timo Werner. That is my take based off of watching not only Tuchel's press conference, but also reading all of your comments as well. So I've changed my mind for my starting 11, which, by the way, if you want to see the preview, I'll also link that down below. But the first thing that I want to talk about today is an incredible stat that's come out regarding Tony Rudiger. And a lot of people have said, you know, put some respect on Rudiger's name, you know, that phrase that just goes around the football Twitter community. Put some respect on the name, blimey O'Reilly. Tony Rudiger, 20 appearances this season for Chelsea, 15 Chelsea clean sheets during that time. That's an absolutely astronomical stat, by the way. 75% of matches where Tony Rudiger's in the starting 11, Chelsea keep a clean sheet. Now, whoa, that was a big flipping bug, but it didn't manage to make it onto the camera. With that being said, I do want to say that I've eaten a massive flipping whole humble pie this season with Rudiger. I thought he was done as a Chelsea player. I thought when Lampard kind of shut him out, he wasn't playing much football. Yes, he scored 2 goals away at Leicester last season that we all got very excited about, and it reminded us of the ability that Rudiger has. And I sometimes think that when you have something against a defender, when they score a goal, which defenders don't normally do, it kind of elevates them back up. And those 2 goals against Leicester kind of made me think, well, you know, Rudiger can do it. But then at the start of this season, I was like, we've kept hold of Rudiger and he's actually a valuable financial asset that we could have offloaded if the manager didn't see him as part of the plan. However, Thomas Tuchel's come in. Rudiger is very much a part of the plan. And even being a part of that plan, the questions that I had in the early stages under Tuchel, which was, can Rudiger carry the ball forward as a left centre-back? He's answering those questions now in the best way possible. He's getting forward, offering himself as an attacking source, and I'm absolutely loving what I'm seeing from Rudiger right now. And even though I've said that in many recent player ratings and 6 Things videos, I wanted to just give a shout out to Tony Rudiger for that stat. 15 out of 20 games played, 75% clean sheets. I'm getting my words flipping out here. Moving in to another story. And I actually filmed a video yesterday that I just bunned off and stuck in the bin. And a lot of people always say like, oh, you and Jan, you and Eunice, you all make the same flipping videos. Yes, I know. It's funny that we support the same football team. But I swear to you, me and Jan actually made and said the exact same thing in yesterday's content, which he posted. I saw him post it and I watched it because I usually watch Jan's videos and I'm like, you know what? This is just a little bit too close. So I didn't bother posting it. I posted my preview yesterday. I deleted the file off my laptop and I thought I won't bother addressing this. And then I've just thought about it more. I've had you guys messaging me on Instagram saying, please, Mr. Benson, can you talk a little bit about the Ronaldo Real Madrid rumours, the Eden Hazard back to Chelsea rumours as a result of this transfer happening? So Eden Hazard is injured again. As a Chelsea fan and an Eden Hazard fan, This is something horrible to watch. I think it's very rare when a player is sold to another club that we support them as much as we do with Eden Hazard. He is a Chelsea legend forever, in however long the world goes on for before we, set fire to the place. Eden Hazard will always be a Chelsea legend. And since he signed for Real Madrid, it's not really been that glorious transfer that we seriously hoped it would be for the wizardry Belgian. Now, at the moment, there is a lot of talk about the Real Madrid medical staff and the medical team in Madrid not being able to deal with Eden Hazard. We can also throw it back to the comments that Mourinho made a couple years ago, saying that if Hazard isn't protected and players that are fouling him left, right and centre every game aren't carded the way that they are, then it's going to ruin his career. And I think it's safe to say, if we look at the trajectory of where it's going, Mourinho's comments are not far from wrong. Eden Hazard is in a serious position right now where he keeps getting these injuries. Yes, he arrived at Real Madrid overweight, which has kind of always given him a bit of like a mountain to climb in terms of Real Madrid's expectations. Eden Hazard's delivery, it's never really quite been on the same level. However, there is some seriousness and truth in the idea that if Real Madrid do, in fact, go back in for Cristiano Ronaldo, which of course, it doesn't matter how old Ronaldo is, if he's at your club, it is a brilliant financial business move. And Zidane has come out and said that there is an element of truth in this, despite obviously being very diplomatic in saying that Ronaldo's a Juventus player. He's got a contract there, he's not a Madrid player anymore. Real Madrid would love to get Cristiano Ronaldo back at the club, and as a result of that, I think they would be interested in moving on Eden Hazard. Not just because of bringing in Ronaldo, who plays in a similar position, but also because of these injuries that Eden Hazard keeps getting, and it's not manageable, clearly, at Real Madrid. They're not able to actually put him into a system and deal with these injuries in a way where as soon as Hazard steps back out on the pitch, he's not walking off again on crutches or flipping on a stretcher or whatever. That's exaggeration. I don't think it's actually been that bad. He's been limping off more than anything else. But Eden Hazard back to Chelsea. You guys have asked for my opinion, and although I canned this video yesterday, my opinion on this is there are some footballing stories where you don't want to get soaked up into this poetic, beautiful narrative. However, when it comes to Eden Hazard, I literally am a sucker. You buy me some flowers, I'm a geezer who loves a couple of bloody flowers. You buy me some flowers, you're in me good books. If Eden Hazard comes back to Chelsea, I will be absolutely lapping it up. The question is, do I think this is actually something that Chelsea Football Club, in the current way in which we're operating business, will do it? No, unless Real Madrid say he's available cutthroat. You can have him for 40 odd million quid, which I highly doubt is going to happen. I would back it to the hills. I would love to see Eden Hazard back in the blue of Chelsea. Let me know in the comments down below what you think about this. Do you want him back? Do you think it's actually feasible? Is it going to happen? Let me know in the comments down below. And I'm going to finish off by talking again about the man who just, he's in the footballing headlines everywhere at the moment, all for the right reasons. It's Erling Haaland, and the developments with this one Chelsea related. I didn't want to make it like every video I'm just talking about Haaland for the sake of talking about Haaland, but good news is that supposedly Roman Abramovich wants to support the move for Erling Haaland this summer and, quote, is willing to sign him at all costs. When I hear this, and I always bring it back to footballing finances at the moment and competitive clubs that might be interested in Haaland, will they go for him? Can they afford him? Is it too financially risky for that club to go for him? With Chelsea, it seems as though we are in for another big summer of Roman Abramovich and the board backing the manager, backing the team, and building something incredibly exciting for the future. The reason I wanted to address this in a news format today is because there have been some talks regarding Chelsea's pursuit of Erling Haaland relating to Timo Werner being a make-weight to send to Borussia Dortmund in order for us to be able to offer a player plus cash deal, but it not be too heavily financially Chelsea throwing Dortmund a load of money. Timo Werner to go the other way. 100% I don't believe in this whatsoever. People have said, what's your thoughts on this? We don't want Werner to go. We can't just give up on him this easily. I really don't think there is any realism in this kind of reporting whatsoever. I don't think that Timo Werner will even be considered a sale for Chelsea Football Club this summer. Very similar to that of Christian Pulisic, where people try and put form and a lack of starting minutes together to create like a concoction of sale, which sells articles and sells clicks. So, you know, keeping it real, I don't think Timo Werner is even going to be considered a potential sale for Chelsea this summer. I really hope that isn't the case, because I actually think Timo's doing okay. I know I kind of go back and forward on the, he shouldn't miss this many chances. He's actually working really hard. And at the moment, that seesaw is kind of shaky, but it's balancing a bit more than it was a few weeks ago. So fully back Timo Werner to get it. Erling Haaland to Chelsea. From what we're hearing about Roman Abramovich being willing to sign him, at all costs, I don't think we should be worried about Chelsea trying to like bridge some kind of financial mark between including Werner to be able to afford the deal, making it happen. Don't think that is going to happen, just generally, to be honest, straight up. But anyway, don't want to take up any more of your time than I need to today. We all know what's happening tonight. It is a massive game in Chelsea's season. I said yesterday, one of the biggest in recent times. I think for what it could be the catalyst for, I seriously believe that it could be. You know, if we get into the quarterfinals, let's just hope that we manage to draw Borussia Dortmund so that we can beat Erling Haaland and he's like, you know what, these are pretty good geezers, these lot, and then he decides to sign for us. Wouldn't that be poetic justice? But anyway, thank you guys for watching today. If you did enjoy this Chelsea news video, be sure to hit the like button on today's video and make sure you are subscribed so that you do not miss the match review after Atletico Madrid tonight. I'm hoping it's a positive one. We need it after the Leeds game. That was a bit of a downer. We got Sheffield United in the Cup at the weekend as well. We don't want to be going into that one with negativity. And then it's an international break, and God forbid it all goes wrong. That is going to be the most torturous couple of weeks of our lives. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. I love you all. Come on, you Blues.